And that had to be huge for promoting country music and promoting singers of country music in Central Illinois.
And interview that I had with Denny Sarver, who was part of the and still is part of the Sangamon Valley Boys. They all have moved to Arizona. I think he said about 30 years ago. They were part of the Uncle Johnny show and would come on and perform, and also go to the state fair and perform over there. And Uncle Johnny would even get Nashville artists to come in to perform on WHOW. He would not only just get local people from all over Central Illinois to perform on the air. Very influential was WHOW in the history of country music in Illinois.
But I've heard the stories about the fact that every year Uncle Johnny Barton with his band would go to the Lincoln stage at the Illinois State Fair and perform, and they would install a phone line there. I guess it was a dial-up phone line in those days, and they would feed the live performance that Uncle Johnny Barton and his band did on the Lincoln stage. They would feed that via telephone line to WHOW and broadcast that live across the 5,000 red hot watts of Central Illinois. And again, that's unheard of. That's surprising that they were doing this in the 1960s and 70s, and they were tickled to death with just a plain old phone line broadcast. I mean, it didn't sound the greatest in the world, but the fact that it was being done live and being done from the Lincoln stage of the Illinois State Fair made it a big deal.
That was Randy and Jared on this WHOW 75th anniversary feature.
10 minutes after 7 o'clock is news time on this Monday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. A wet outlook will take us into the summer months. That's according to Brian Baumgardner at the National Weather Service in Lincoln, who also notes temperature outlooks are trending for above normal.
Well, the Climate Prediction Center is saying that we're going to lean above normal, if anything, but we're really on the edge. They've got cooler than normal temperatures outlooked to our north and west, and warmer than normal to our south and east. So we're sort of right on that line. What that might seem to imply is that they think the weather systems are going to track near us. So we may end up getting a fair amount of rain, possibly more severe weather, though it's early to make a call on that. But technically we're just in the slight lean towards above normal temperatures in Clinton. And the summer outlook, which goes May through July, is very similar.
According to Baumgardner, as we get into May, temperatures obviously continue to increase. He calls May an overall pleasant month, at least historically.
Well, our average high for the month of May in Lincoln is 75 degrees. We start off the month, average high is 70. We end the month with an average high of 80. And our average lows go from 47 to 57. May tends to be a pretty nice month here, though it can be wet. And the Climate Prediction Center, I failed to mention this before, but they do have us outlooked leaning slightly in favor of above normal precipitation in May. So could get a lot of storm systems, but in general, it's a pleasant month. So even if we end up a little cooler than average, it should still be nice, especially by the second half of the month.
For now, the Climate Prediction Center has the area trending for slightly above normal precipitation. For now, Baumgardner indicates we're trending to a pretty typical summer.
Well, we're leaning just barely above normal for precipitation. If I put my point on the Climate Prediction Center's interactive page over over Clinton, they say we have about a 40% chance of seeing above normal precipitation, a 25% chance of below normal, and a 35% chance of near normal. So it's leaning slightly towards above normal precip. And as far as temperatures, we're hovering right around normal, equal chances of being above, below, and near normal. Average highs over the summer range from the upper 70s in June to the mid 80s in July and early August. And our low temperatures come up as well because our dew points come up in July and August when we get that corn evapotranspiration. So
Mhm.
it looks like it'll probably be a pretty typical summer from what we're looking at, but I could see it swinging either way.
Severe weather tends to be at its peak in May and June because of the unpredictable nature of severe weather. Bumgardner says pinpointing the likelihood of severe weather in the outlook is difficult. If you receive Social Security benefits and ever wondered how the dates of your payments are determined, there is a method the agency uses. Jack Myers with Social Security tells Regional Radio, for the most part, it's by the birth date of the Social Security number holder, and payments will be made on the second, third, or fourth Wednesday of the month.
No, not at all. That's something that we get a lot of questions on when people first start to collect Social Security benefits, because it's not necessarily something that you think a whole lot about before that time. But payments for most people are going to be basically determined by the birthday of what we call the Social Security number holder. So what that means is if you're getting retirement benefits off of your own record, you're the number holder or the wage earner. So it's based off of your birthday. But if you're getting spousal benefits or surviving spousal benefits or something like that, then your spouse that you're getting the benefits off of is the number holder or the wage earner. So it's going to be based off of their birthday. Okay, so now that we know whose birthday this is based on, we can talk about what that birthday means. So, it used to be that all Social Security payments came on the third of the month. Everybody got their check on the third of the month, and that was that. But many years ago, we switched to what we call payment cycling. So now some people still get it on the third of the month, but most people are either going to get their payment on the second Wednesday, the third Wednesday, or the fourth Wednesday of the month.
If the birthday is the 1st through the 10th of the month, the payment will come on the second Wednesday of the month. If the birthday is the 11th through the 20th, the payment date will be the third Wednesday of the month. And if the birthday is the 21st through the 31st, the payment day will be the fourth Wednesday of the month.
And the way that we determine which Wednesday you're going to get your payment is by the birthday of the number holder. So if the birthday is the 1st through the 10th, the payment date will be the second Wednesday of the month. If it's the 11th through the 20th, the payment date will be the third Wednesday of the month. And if it's the 21st through the 31st, the payment date will be the fourth Wednesday of the month. So what the important takeaway there is your payment's not going to necessarily be on the same date each month. So don't pay so much attention to the date it comes, but look at the Wednesdays, the second Wednesday, third Wednesday, or fourth Wednesday of the month, because that's when a lot of those payments are going to be sent out. And again, like I said, some people will still receive their payments on the third day of the month. If you've been getting benefits since before May 1st of 1997, you'll still get them on the third. If you also receive supplemental security income, you'll get your Social Security on the third. And there are a couple other reasons. And then the other thing I want to add to that is SSI payments, the supplemental security income, those come on the first. So lots to kind of digest there, but really it's not terribly complicated once you understand that it's typically based on the Wednesdays, second, third, fourth Wednesday of the month is what you need to kind of lock in on. And the good thing about it, and one of the big reasons we go with Wednesdays, is they're obviously not a weekend, and there aren't a ton of holidays that fall on Wednesdays. So the fewest disruptions there with Wednesdays.
The payment schedule is available online at ssa.gov/pubs. Then find calendar in the filter box. News time is 17 minutes after the hour here on this Monday. We've got plenty more coming your way next on the WHOW Morning Show.
If you think a new or used car is in your future, the time is now to call the Baum Chevrolet Buick sales team here in Clinton or Farmer City. This is Scott Baum. With a professional sales consultant in your corner, the vehicle search is easy. Meet with our sales team to go over your wants and needs. We'll start the search and do all the legwork for you. With so many models and options to choose from, we can help you get the information you need. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
News time is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Monday. I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. Illinois Farm Bureau President Rich Giebert is promoting the Illinois Agricultural Food Alliance's Ag Ignite efforts.
But one issue that we recognized that was really challenging, not only for agriculture, but industry and folks all around the state of Illinois, is labor and finding folks to fill the jobs that we need, whether it's on the farm, manufacturing, on the lines, food research, crop consultants out on the farm. I know our local cooperative has had trouble trying to find truck drivers to deliver products to the farm and to get the fertilizer applications done. And so what we done, we put a pilot program together about, it's just 30 second to 2 minute segments of videos that we can take to the high schools and show kids different facets of jobs that are ag related, from on the farm to food and research, in the field, manufacturing, food processing, you name it. And there's a lot of positions. And I'm really happy and excited about this program. We have introduced it to 9 schools in the Chicagoland area. And this fall, we plan to take it down south and southern part of Illinois and take it to 35 extra schools in downstate Illinois.
You can learn more at ilagrifood.org. A University of Illinois Extension horticulture educator is offering some advice for selecting the best mulch for your garden. Mulch can help moderate soil temperatures, reduce weeds, and look nice overall. The Extension's Nicole Flowers-Kimmerly says there are 4 types: living, synthetic, organic, and inorganic.
So like stone, you see a lot of people have rock mulch in their landscaping, tumbled glass or concrete pavers. They are going to last a long time. And so they're a more natural type thing, but yet not alive.
Stones are costlier up front, but last longer and do not increase soil temps in the summer. Flowers-Kimmerly says synthetic mulch like landscape fabric is fine for the short term, but the best overall mulch choice for expense and effectiveness is wood chips.
Now, if you want to use rubber tires in a playground, but in your garden, especially if you're going to grow it under vegetables, that rubber breaks down and it's been treated with lots of different types of products. You might not want those byproducts breaking down in your vegetables or your flower garden.
Ground cover plants are considered a living mulch, which can compete for resources like water and nutrients. The last type is inorganic mulch, which includes stones and concrete pavers. And Flowers-Kimmerly again says they cost more up front, but they do last longer. Governor J.B. Pritzker is announcing $16 million in funding for clean energy workforce programs. $10 million is earmarked for the Climate Works pre-apprenticeship program, which sets participants up for a career in the clean energy construction trades, says Jason Horowitz with the State Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity.
So that might include building efficiency, it might include particular things that electricians need to know when they're installing solar panels, things like that.
The remaining $6 million will go towards the barrier reduction program, which supports apprentices struggling to stay in the program because of things like lack of transportation, the cost of tools, and books.
Right now, the opportunity that is available is for organizations that are interested in applying to actually run the program. So those will be qualified training providers who will offer pre-apprenticeship training for certifications in the clean energy construction trades.
Interested groups can visit the website dceo.illinois.gov for more information. Funding is also available to help low-income apprenticeship students with book and tool costs, as well as transportation and childcare through the barrier reduction program. A bill banning indoor vaping continues to make progress in the Illinois General Assembly. The measure updates the Smoke-Free Illinois Act to ban vapes and e-cigarettes in indoor public spaces like bars and restaurants. It's strongly supported by the American Lung Association. The group's Christina Hamilton
The law turned 15 this year. It's really exciting, and we just seek to add these newer products to the smoke-free law to continue to protect indoor air.
The bill has already passed the Senate and now awaits a vote in the House. The Illinois Commerce Commission is highlighting the importance of calling Julie before you dig. Julie is a free service, and calling 811 at least 2 days before you begin a yard or excavation project is required by the law, says the ICC's Matt Smith.
Planting flowers in your flower bed may not be an issue, but when you start planting a tree or you're doing some type of landscaping, those types of things, you have your gas service, your electric service, your internet is coming into your house, and you do not know where those locations are.
Once you call, Julie will notify the respective utilities, which will come and flag potentially affected lines. Smith says if you hit an underground power line, you could be injured or cause a neighbor an outage. Governor Pritzker has declared April, Illinois, Safe Digging Month.
Going out without calling 811 to have them mark where the locations are, you're taking the chance of disrupting your own service, causing harm to yourself, and possibly also maybe the neighborhood may go out because of the damage, depending on where you're digging.
You can find more information about Julie and digging on your property online at Illinois, the number one call.com. Again, that's Illinois, the number one call.com. Chicago Mayor-elect Brandon Johnson spoke before Illinois lawmakers Wednesday and was met with plenty of cheers and some jeers. Mayor-elect Johnson addressed the House and Senate, noting the importance of the city to Illinois and pledging a spirit of unity. Senate President Don Harmon met with him personally.
He's concerned about public safety. He's concerned about the public schools. He's concerned about making sure Chicago is on display to the world as the great city that it is. And his trip down here today was really evidence of a new collaborative spirit, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
But Republicans like Representative Andrew Chesney of Freeport are warning that the mayor-elect Johnson's progressive policies will impact all of Illinois.
The mayor's not down here right now for any other reason to ask for more money. First, it becomes the money that he's going to take out of the Chicago coffers. Then it's going to be the money that comes out of all our pockets, too. We have to stop this left-wing progressive ideology that is destroying and crushing our state.
During his address to the House and Senate, Johnson called for unity, stressed the importance of Chicago to the state, and the need to create a trauma response network at schools that see the most violence. The IHSA Esports State Tournament Series is growing. The inaugural year had 124 schools, and that has risen to 160 this year, says the IHSA's Dan Lay.
Yeah, the growth is pretty incredible. Just from my conversations with coaches around the state, there's definitely a lot of interest, and there's a draw in this. And like I said, I think there's more schools out there that are working on establishing their esports teams and their clubs. And so I anticipate this number to continue growing, and we'll have some decisions to make as far as the state finals or the state series too, as we continue to manage this growth and and make it an event for all these schools to enjoy and that they when they compete.
Sectionals were this past weekend. The state finals are this weekend at Evergreen Park High School. Competitions include a game involving more than 3 students from one school playing against another school. Individual or small group games include 3 or less students from one school playing against students from another school. Team games are Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Crew Battle. The individual game is FIFA. Small group games are Rocket League and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Singles. U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg was questioned about AM radio remaining in the dash of the American-made car and truck. He was asked about the issue during the National Association of Farm Broadcasting Washington Watch event last week.
We certainly recognize the importance that and the important role that AM radio has played and continues to play with regard to people getting information that they need for safety, notably, but not only when it comes to weather emergencies. And one thing we know about living in these times is that weather emergencies are becoming more frequent and more severe. So while I don't know of a formal legal role that we have with regard to that, it's certainly something that will be on our mind as we remain in dialogue with the auto industry and with related industries when it comes to transportation.
The National Alliance of State Broadcast Associations is sending a Radio in the Dash survey to its AM member stations. The group hopes to use the collected data to more accurately craft messages and develop actionable items to keep AM in the dash of American-made vehicles. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is seeing an increase in number of scammers utilizing the technology. With AI image generators, you can type in a few words describing the image you want to be created, and AI generates an image based on your text. It's a valuable technology, but an investigator with the Better Business Bureau says scammers can abuse it to create images to back up their stories, products, or outright lies. Don O'Brien says these images are surprisingly realistic.
Something we're going to all have to try to learn about. We have to, we always have our baloney detectors on. We're going to have to put our baloney detector on a little bit higher now with all these types of things. Because just, you can say, well, gosh, I see here Oprah's talking about how she takes these gummy bears. I can tell you that little clip that you may see on social media, wherever it might be, YouTube, that's probably not Oprah talking. That's a faked video.
Just because something is shared widely on social media does not mean it's real. For an example, AI-generated photo of Pope Francis in a designer puffer jacket recently went viral. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
With SRN News, I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. U.S. Special Operations Forces successfully evacuated the American embassy in Sudan over the weekend. No shots were fired and no major casualties were reported. After personnel were flown out of Khartoum on helicopters, the United States closed its diplomatic mission there indefinitely. Americans continue to have access to the abortion pill mifepristone following the Supreme Court's Friday night announcement. The High Court said lower court rulings that would have placed new restrictions on the drug